lone drummer returns to rejoin the massed bands.
Escort, for the colours, for the left, quick march.
The Escort for the colour advances. They'll left form and advance again across the parade ground to halt in front of their colour. Their march is their regimental quick march, the British Grenadiers. Although actually, regardless of which regiment is trooping, it's always played at this point, because the right flank company of every regiment of the line used to be a company of Grenadiers. They mark time to allow the mass bands to clear their path before they advance in line. Mass bands have just completed the first of 3 spin wheels, a manoeuvre that's unique to them, and in fact the third one is an innovation this year to try and tidy up what some people thought was a rather scrappy part of the parade. Now they're out of the way, the Escort can advance, and the subaltern looks for a white marker where he'll halt the Escort 20 paces from the colour. Now, the Sergeant Major, Chris Savage, who must be the smallest man in the Escort, at only 5'10½", goes round from behind the Escort. This is his last duty as the Sergeant Major. He hands over tonight. A big party, he says, will be in London before going on to be the RSM at the All-Arms Drill Wing at Purbright. He's actually excused drill because he had an operation on his back 3 months ago for a slipped disc. But he said he was going to hand over the colour no matter what. He picks up the ensign, Second Lieutenant Justin Hunt Davis. They halt in front of the colour. The ensign is 6'6" tall. That's the only occasion when a Sergeant Major will salute with a sword. He takes the colour from Sergeant David Adkins, who changes arms and then slopes so that he's uniform with the rest of the Escort. Second Lieutenant Justin Hunt Davis only joined the battalion 2 months ago. He's the son of a Gurkha officer who retired last year as a brigadier and is now the assistant private secretary to the colonel of the regiment, the Duke of Edinburgh. The ensign returns his sword to its scabbard. And now, because of the big height differential, the Sergeant Major says he has to get in very close to the ensign, who, once he's got the colour safely, will about turn, and the Escort will present arms, the mass bands will play the national anthem. With the colour now in their charge, their Escort to the colour. And you'll notice during the national anthem, the 4 guides and markers at the corners faced outwards with their rifles at the high port in symbolic protection of the colour. The colour party now take their places in the Escort, the Sergeant Major and the colour sergeant at the rear. And the subaltern now prepares the Escort for the most solemn part of the parade, trooping the colour through the ranks of the other 7 guards.
Escort, for the colour. Hey! Cut! For the setup. Go! Cut!
As the escort makes its way to the right end of number 8 guard, to the tune Escort to the Colour, the mass bands carry out their second spin wheel. It really is a complex manoeuvre designed to turn the bands through 90 degrees, keeping the same formation without taking up the whole of Horse Guard's parade ground. Up, half the band facing east and half facing west, and then with a signal from one of the directors of music, half the band turns about and they all end up facing the same way with harmony restored. Meanwhile, the escort are approaching the end of number 8 guard.